the start of the love story. So my name is Coco Olakunle and I'm a photographer based here in Amsterdam. I'm a mentor and co-partner of Showroom. And this is my partner Carmen.
Hi, I'm Carmen. I write, I host and moderate talks and conversations, and I call myself a creative consultant because I do a bunch of things that are in the intersection of fashion, music and culture. And together with Coco, I found this beautiful space called Showroom.
We have mutual friends and we were on a birthday party and I think you just bought a book.
Dandelion?
Yeah. And we were both, going through it, and Carmen was going to Lagos, and I don't know if you already knew that. Were you still looking for someone to go with, or you?
No, I think I
already went.
I was going with Ravenna. I think I was telling in excitement. Yeah, I had gone. I had to go. I don't even know.
I don't know. But we were talking about going to Nigeria, and we didn't even know each other that well.
Not at all, actually, I think.
Yeah, so that one moment at the birthday party, and then in 2018 we went to Nigeria, to Lagos together, and that was the beginning of this marriage.
Yes. I think we already were working on a thing, but then the thing was like the work that we did digitally. So going to Lagos first, before we go, it's like, makes sense. Coco takes pictures, I write, and we vibe, so we could do something together. It's a nice match. But I think being in Lagos, we kind of felt like, we are the same energy. Because working together, I always believe it's not only about skills, but it's also about mentality and whether that's a match. And also working in a context that's not your own, like Lagos. You have to plan a bit, it's a different context. So we vibed very well. And ever since, we just started working together on projects that we both had an interest in. Also because, like for Lagos, we had some assignments, but not the biggest ones. But we always felt like, you work, like if you have assigned work, it's not always that you can do everything you wish to do in that one assignment. So we always both felt, which I think is very amazing because not every freelancer works like that, like just create work for the sake of creation because we feel like, we want to make this work whether it's paid or not. And I think that kind of like got us like working together more closely.
Yeah, and what you said, we have a similar mentality. We are both very positive. So, for example, getting a space like this, or when we have to move stuff, couches, tables, we always think that, we can do it, we don't need help, it will fit in the car. So we have same mentality that we always think what we want, it will work out.
Yeah. And I think throughout the travels, because we've traveled quite a bit together, like here, London, even on the projects in Amsterdam, we both dreamers. So we're like, okay, now we're working digitally, but what is it you want to do? What is it you wish to do? Yeah. And like we had these informal sessions with wine and we're talking and like making notes for ourselves, like, what is it that I as a freelancer want to do and what can we do together? So kind of naturally we came up with the idea like, we want a physical space where we could bring people together, where we could sell things we love, where we could just, build our own emporium.
Based in Amsterdam called Showroom. Can I have a warm hand of applause for cultural consultant and writer Carmen Hogg and photographer Coco and Olakunle?
We already had a space in Southeast here in Amsterdam, but that was on like the 5th floor and people would not just, walk in. So we were really looking for a space where we can show what we make, what we like to wear. So we have the brands, we have books, we have an office space. So this space really became a reflection of what the kind of work that we do together and our interests.
Yeah, and I mean, rent is not easy in this Amsterdam, and I think nowadays it's very hard to, probably never sit to make ends meet with like rent and the price of electricity versus the sales you make in the shop. But we kind of felt like, let's just give it a go, let's try, because if you don't try, you don't know. Without a real business plan, and yeah, we exist for a year now, and it's going pretty good. I'm on it every time people want to buy something or want to host something here, so yeah.
Yeah, I think also now that we've been running for a year, we noticed that people are walking in also outside of our own network. Almost like since 2 months, almost every weekend we have an event.
We're tired.
Yeah. Like, we actually have to work, but because we like it, doesn't feel like work, of course. But
Yeah.
so yeah, showroom is really growing in a very natural way. Like Carmen said, we never made a business plan. We just basically put our money together, transformed this place into what it is now. It used to be a fish shop, so it took us a lot of work and money to make it into what it is now. But since we have the same mentality, if we want something, we go for it. So yeah.
Small example, there's like this glass wall in the studio, and it was like 6K putting it in, because we both dreamed, so we're thinking, oh, we want this, we want that, and it's like, oh fuck, the 6K, are we gonna do it? Like, and I always feel like the money you make on my business account is not my money because it goes to taxes and everything. So it's like, okay, the money's there now. Coco's like, okay, the money's there. Let's just do it, because if we want to do it, it has to, like, it should not be a social space. The space has to be a vibe. So
Yeah.
we paid freaking 6K for a glass wall in the office that we rent, in the space that we rent. So
it was a big investment, but the feedback that we get now from people who walk in, they feel so welcoming. Even the furniture that we have is all designed for us, so it's very, I feel like the space is very authentic and very welcoming and friendly, and that's something that I guess I can say is hopefully a reflection of us too. Right.
Yeah, so the people we work with, it really differs. So it's products that we're selling, and we're hosting events to bring people together. Often those people are linked to a product that we might sell in the shop, but not always. So I think it's people that we find, people that are telling stories that we find interesting, whether it's through a book, whether it's through clothing, whether it's through their careers, whether it's through a shared interest. Regarding the clothing now, I've been talking about fashion coming from the African continent since 2008, on and off, like in my what I'm doing, what you see of me outside. And I always felt like, okay, if we're gonna have space, I want to stock brands from the continent here, because you can't find them anywhere in the Netherlands. So if nobody's doing it, we gotta do it. And whenever Coco and I were traveling, it's like, oh my gosh, we both spent money on clothing that we like. Bring it back here, and then people are like, oh my gosh, I wanna have it too, where can I get it? You cannot get it in the Netherlands because we got it in Lagos, for example. So when we knew we were putting a space together, it's like, yes, we have to stock brands of people that we love. And fashion that we love. So we don't stock full ranges of collections, but we handpick items that we both like. So it's either on WhatsApp or by calling or by being in the space together. Do we want to stock this? Yes. Okay, we're stocking it. So that's kind of how that works. And for books, yeah, all the books we love. Most of the books you cannot find in other spaces in Amsterdam. Some you can, but it's just stuff we're interested in, I think, of people that we believe in, one way or the other.
Yeah, it's like our own living room.
Yeah. Should I?
Maybe from
Yeah.
what we're wearing.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm wearing Subway. We're both wearing Subway. When I saw Carmen walk in this morning, like, hey, we're wearing the same thing, and we're both wearing waffles.
Yes.
So we like to also wear what we sell here. So Subway is a Ghanaian brand, and Waf Nigerian skate brand.
We stock Long Season, a brand from Joburg that came down here for pop-up, and aesthetic that very much fits Dutch lifestyle. We recently started stocking Dye Lab after they had their pop-up here. And we're gonna add Germain Bleu to the collection. And we're off to Dakar and Abidjan in August. So probably we're gonna expand with a few more brands. I feel like I miss a brand. Oh yeah, Maxivive. We also stock Maxivive.
And the books that we have, basically all the books that are here are books that I have in my house too. Nadine Herrera is a photographer that I'm a big fan of. Tyler Mitchell recently bought the book Football in the Middle East. We recently joined an event, Mouthful of Golds, where we were selling that book. So yeah, I would say check our website to see what we have. I don't know what to say about the books. You can just delete that. We have a book, a quick thing on Afrobeats, and we combined that with meet and read with the author Kwame, who came from London to do his book launch here in Amsterdam. So yeah, we try to combine the books with events.
Yeah, and I'm proud to say that we stock Voices, a book on Ghanaian artist by Manju Journal. I think as the only stockist here in the Netherlands. Natal, of course, a personal favorite for both of us. Native Mag, I think we're the only stockist as well for that one. And a random photography journal by Arinze, which is a great magazine as well. Uism by the work of Boateng, his first book. So Gita journals, also a lot of independent publications by people that we know and by whose work we love as well, celebrating arts and culture coming from Africa as well, a lot of it. But also hip hop books by Jamal Shabazz that we love, or Ice Cold on hip hop jewelry, Spike Lee, stuff we're interested in.
Yeah. It's a really good idea to buy this. But what would be our advice? I think first of all, when you work together, the relationship is the most important, because if the relationship is, that needs to be healthy and honest, because then you can build on things, so I think that's the key, to keep communicating, and also spend a lot of time together and dream together, and also not be too scared. Sometimes it's the problem that we're both not really scared, so then you end up with having a whole space somewhere in Amsterdam East and we are open 5 days a week, so suddenly we have a store. But when you share that same mentality, it's really fun.
Yeah, and I think the advice, if you're gonna do it with somebody, get to know each other. But then, Coco has seen Coco is a photographer, so I can never break this friendship, because she's gonna spoil my whatever image people have of me, because she captured every nasty moment of me. Travel together, we traveled to Lagos, Coco for the first time, me second time, and then we took kekes in Lagos, thinking this should be a fun experience. Let's just go as two European girls on Lagos Island, that people would say you should not. Just go places together, so you get to understand the person, not in his own context, but in a different context. Yeah. I think that's very important. And my thing is always just, we probably only have this one life. If you can do it now, just do it. Showroom is still costing us money because the rent is not easy, but we both have freelance gigs on the side, so that we're able to put our money together now, and we are both willing to invest in it, because we believe it's gonna, be break even, and hopefully even gonna bring us some money at some point. Don't wait, because why wait? You don't know, tomorrow you might not wake up. It sounds very dramatic, but that's really my one thing.
And it doesn't have to be perfect to start.
Oh yeah, that's one.
Because this was a fish shop. It was smelling like fish, but we started anyway. We're still finishing stuff here. We're fixing the kitchen. We're cleaning the back. But we're already open. Why not?
Yeah, and first thing, I dealt with services before, but I've never imported products. So So like, I forgot to add 21% tax on some items in the calculations. 21% on it is a lot of money. Yeah. So after some sales, like, oh, Coco, shit. Our margin is gone because I forgot to calculate the 21%. Like, oops. I mean, but that's entrepreneurship as well. Like, you make mistakes. So yeah, just go and live and try. We're all just doing something in this life that God gave us. So go with it. And also, be honest and surround yourself with beautiful people. Yeah. Oh, one last thing. Don't take advice, but it's for anything.
Don't take our advice.
Don't take advice from people who haven't done it. Like, there's a ton of people, like you said, who advised us. Nobody. But there's a whole lot of people telling me, like, oh my gosh, a contract for a space in Amsterdam. I birthed a child, like, right before we started it. It's like, oh, how are you going to do it as a mom and time and money? Nah. Those people are not doing it. So why would you take their advice because there's always people telling you should not do it. Go for the ones that say you should.